your quiz. Real fast before we jump into rectangles, there is a chunk that we take out of this chapter, but I'm just going to show you these three methods. This section is how you prove something is a parallelogram. Proving something means doing proofs, right? And I promised you we wouldn't do proofs this semester, so we didn't do proofs, and we're not going to do proofs. But I just want you to understand that sometimes they don't tell you you have two sets of parallel lines. If they do, you're like, well, it's a parallelogram. But if they don't tell you you have two sets of parallel lines, you also know something is a parallelogram if both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. So if these are congruent and those are congruent, but they have not said it's a parallelogram, you are allowed to say, I know that's a parallelogram. Okay, so if opposite sides are congruent, it's a parallelogram. Okay, you're also allowed to say if opposite angles are congruent, then that is a parallelogram. Okay, and then the last one is the goofy one that you've not really seen before. But if they tell you one pair of sides is parallel and that same pair of sides is also congruent, then we know that that is a parallelogram. Okay, so all of these just to say it's a parallelogram, it's a parallelogram, it's a parallelogram, if you know that information. Okay, we aren't really going to do anything with that, but just it's a fun fact for you. Okay, we are going to do some work with rectangles today. So I'm going to draw you a rectangle, and I would love to see, ooh, I should make it not filled in. Okay, here's a rectangle. Anyone want to come up here and mark anything that you know about this rectangle? Anything. There's lots of things. Anything that you know about this rectangle. Don't be bashful. She doesn't feel good. Don't make her do extra things. Landon, it's your birthday. Do you want to come up? What do you know? Oh, tell me. Come here. What's congruent?
This one. This one.
Ah, yes. Uh-huh. Beautiful. Do you think that's true? It's true. Anything else you know about a rectangle? Logan? What do you know? Anything?
Nothing.
Anything about the angles? Do you know anything about the angles of a rectangle? Psst, you're not Logan.
No, you got it. No,
You don't want it?
I'm good.
What do you think, Arthur?
Pass it to Arthur.
The angles are equal.
All the angles are equal?
Yeah.
Like every single one?
Yeah.
Okay. So congruent, congruent, congruent. Do you think that's true? Mm-hmm. Could you be more specific? They're all 90. Right. So they are congruent. More specifically, let's make it a box. They're all 90. Anyone know anything else? How about the diagonals? Do you know anything about the diagonals? I'm not an artist. What? The angle bisects. Does the angle bisect? Do you think this angle is the same as this angle? Not that one? Oh, AIA. Okay. You're going to use that a lot today, you guys. This angle will be the same as that one? Uh-huh. You know anything else? How about the diagonals themselves, the lines? What was true for a parallelogram? The diagonals were equal in a parallelogram, but do you know that in a rectangle they are equal? So in a parallelogram, we said these bisect and these bisect, right? But really, in a rectangle, these are all, I'm going to triple this so that you're not confused by all the other markings. All four of those pieces are equal, which means the whole piece is equal to the whole piece too, okay? So there's a lot of things about a rectangle. Did you know that every rectangle is also a what? What was the first thing we talked about? Parallelogram. Okay, so here's the thing. Rectangles, if you think of them as just a rectangle, can feel a little overwhelming because there's a ton of things that are true about them. But if you think of them as a parallelogram, right? That's all the things about parallelograms. And now you just add on the rectangle stuff to it. It's only two things, okay? But just know that all the properties of a parallelogram will hold up in a rectangle as well. So that means opposite sides are congruent. That's what, who came up? That's what Landon told us, right? It means opposite sides are parallel. That's a parallelogram. So these are parallel and these are parallel, okay? It means opposite angles are congruent, but in this case, more specifically, congruent and 90 degrees. It also means consecutive angles are supplementary, right? These two are going to add up to 180 every time because they're both 90. It also means that diagonals bisect each other, so equal parts on your diagonals. The two new things that are not true of any old parallelogram are these two. The first one is that all four angles are right angles. Okay, so in a rectangle, it's kind of nice. They're all 90 degrees, right? So you have that same 90-degree angle in every corner. Hugely helpful. And then the second thing is that your diagonals in their entirety now are congruent. In other words, if you're looking at the picture down below, PR is congruent to SQ. Okay, this one is congruent to that one. Okay, I asked my last class to solve number 1 for me, and it went very quickly on the first two, and then people got a little stumped on the third one. I believe in you guys. I believe you can get there. Give it a go for me. And I'll just tell you, I think it's helpful to mark some things up because it's a rectangle, okay? See if you can find those 5 missing pieces. Do you see it now? The Pythagorean theorem, right? Yes, it's a rectangle, but within that rectangle is a right triangle. And if you know 2 of the sides of a right triangle, Pythagorean theorem for the third. That's tough, huh? A little tricky. So 10 squared plus 24 squared equals SQ squared. When you plug that in, I don't remember what that comes out to. 10 squared plus 24 squared is 676. And that is your SQ side squared. So take the square root of that. So SQ is 26. 26. Okay. SR, what'd you get? This guy. 24. Yep. Same as the one across from it. I would write it in. And then 10 for QR. What's PR? 26. Yeah. If the one is 26, then the other one has to be the same length. So 26 also. And then QT. What's QT? Cut it in half, right? 13 and 13, 13 and 13. Good there? Okay. Jump down to number 3. This is another one where I feel like you have to look for the things that you know, and not necessarily just things from this chapter, things from other chapters that you know to be true when there are sides and angles and things involved. So see if you can find the measure of each one of these angles on number 3. You got 90 for this guy? Anybody else get 90 for MJK? Oh, good. That's a great start. Okay. MJL, what'd you get?
63.
How did you do that?
Subtracted 90 by 27.
Yep. 90 minus that 27 is your 63. Okay, that's great. JLK?
63.
Those are alternate interiors, right? This guy matches up with that guy. Okay. KML.
27.
How'd you get that?
If you subtract 90 by 63, or if AIA
why is it isosceles?
Because the diagonals are all congruent.
Yeah, so this is huge on this one, you guys. These are all the same. So if those are all the same, do you see 4 isosceles triangles right now? Isosceles triangles are the best. So this 27 is this 27, is this 27, is that 27, right? Do you know that works the other way too? This 63 is this 63, is this 63, is that 63. Yeah? Okay, so then how do we find those inside ones?
You add 27 and 27 and then subtract them by 1.
So 27 plus 27 plus, if we call this x, let's say, that should equal 180. So when you subtract that, what do you get? 180 minus 54. So that's 126 right here. These are vertical angles, 126. Now there's 2 ways you could find the other ones. You could subtract from 180 your 63s. How many of you did it that way? Okay. The other way is you could say this makes a straight line. So subtract 126 from 180 there. How many of you use that way? Straight line. I like the straight line. It's one less thing to add or subtract. But that's up to you. So if this has to make a straight line, 180 minus 126 is going to give you a 54-degree angle here, which is a 54-degree angle there. So KML, that was this one, 27. And then MNL is that guy, so 126. How'd you do? Pretty good? Makes sense? Questions on that? Okay. We're not going to solve every question we talk about right now. Some of them I just want you to like tell me what we're going to do and then we're going to move on, okay? For instance, this one. Number 6 says find EF. What are you going to do? You're going to set them equal. 3x plus 5 equals 7x minus 39. Are you going to stop when you find x? No, you're going to plug it in. If we want EF, then whatever you get for x, you're going to plug it in right here. 7 times that number minus 39. Okay? Jump to number 9. This one we might set it up. I'm not sure we'll solve the whole thing. We'll see. We'll see how it's going. It says VW is 9x minus 11. Okay, so that's that little piece of the diagonal. And then it says SU, which is the whole diagonal going this way, is 16x minus 12. We're looking for the length of WT. So that other piece of diagonal. Who's got an idea? Oliver.
You multiply 9x minus 11 by 2.
Mm-hmm.
So equal to 16x minus 12.
Right. So if I know this and I double it, because they're equal, so double the 9x minus 11 and set that equal to the other piece of it, 16x minus 12. Okay. Then it says to find WT. So once you figure out what x is right here, what are you going to plug it in for?
9x minus
The 9x minus 11. Yeah, you're going to go 9 times whatever you get for x minus 11 will be your WT. Okay. Did anyone solve yet? What did x come out to? 5? Okay, so if x is 5, you would distribute this, right? Solve it, get 5. Then you would drop the 5 in. So 45 minus 11 or 34. Do you know how you can check that? If you plug it into this diagonal, it should be the same number, right? So you can always double check it by plugging it in elsewhere. Questions on that? Awesome. Okay, let's go to number 10. We are looking for BCE. We are looking for this angle. Can you tell me where you would start with this problem?
Set 11x minus 3 equal
So these are alternate interiors. So we can set them equal. 11x minus 3 equals 7x plus 5. So if you solve that, take away 7x, you get 4x. Add the 3, you get 8. So x is 2. Okay, that's our x value. But look at what they asked you to find. They asked you to find this angle. So if we plug the 2 in, we found this angle. What are we going to do with that value? Let's just plug it in first. So 11 times 2 minus 3, or 22 minus 3, is 19. Okay, so this angle is 19 degrees. How are we going to find the one they're looking for, this blue guy? Yeah, 90 minus the 19. So that's 71 degrees. Okay, questions on that? Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Here's the things to look out for in a rectangle. Lots of 90 degrees, lots of 180 degrees if you have a triangle, right? Lots of isosceles triangles. If you can see the isosceles triangles, those help you a ton, okay? Because base angles are always congruent in an isosceles triangle, so you should be in pretty good shape there. Okay, go ahead.